Hello, welcome to Dundrell's podcast. I'm your host, Justin. So we were supposed to do a commentary track for the Marvel Cinematic Universe film Captain Marvel 2019, which is 2 hours and 4 minutes, starring Brie Larson. We tried twice to do a commentary track for this film, and I kind of ran out. First time we got interrupted by a cat, my sister's cat, which is ironic since there's like an annoying cat in the film. And the second time, I ran out of shit to say, crap to say, halfway through the movie, and said some stuff I probably shouldn't have said about suspicious deaths of certain celebrities. So it was like, God damn it, I can't. Especially since I may have talked about, like, you know, some stuff that would have pissed off some people. Which we don't get a lot of views on this channel, but better safe than sorry, right? We just hit 500 subs, so we gotta, you know. It would be a shame after finally hitting 500 subs to get the channel shut down by pissed off fanboys. Yeah, so we're gonna do something. We're gonna try to do a long review and hopefully make up for the fact that, you know, we didn't do the commentary for Captain Marvel. But, like, you know, if there's a bad superhero film or comic book film you guys want me to do a commentary track for, let me know in the comments. And eventually we will go back and, you know, do a commentary track for this film, right? So yeah, the movie stars Brie Larson as Carol Danvers, aka Verse, in the film. Samuel Jackson as Nick Fury. Gamma Chan as Minerva, who the actress also is in Eternals. So it's kind of like you're having, like, at first I was like, hey, is this chick going to turn out to be like Cersei? No, they just have the same actress playing two different characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's like, you know, when like TV shows would do that kind of shit where they would have like an actor play multiple characters. Like, there's this one actor in like SVU who plays a cop, and then like a couple episodes later he plays like a rapist. So it's like, what the fuck? So it's like that kind of shit here, man, where it's like, oh, like, let's have like it's been 3 years, let's reuse actors. So dumb. You got Jude Law as Jan Rog, Ben Mendelsohn as Talos / Keller, Lashana Lynch as Maria Rambeau. Also, Digimon Hanzo is in the film, right? Who was great in his short role in Guardians of the Galaxy as Ronan the Accuser henchman, who Ronan the Accuser has a special cameo in the film. A lot of people have special cameos in the film, including Stan Lee, which he died in like he died in like 2019 or something. So they have a cameo by him, where the movie takes place in the 90s, and he's holding up a script for the Kevin Smith film he was in, Mallrats. Right. So the story. The story of this movie, you have Captain Marvel, which is kind of dumb how her name is. I don't think they ever call her Captain Marvel. It's kind of dumb considering the context of the movie that they call her you know, her name's Captain Marvel when there's a character named Marvel in the movie, right? And that's the person's name, so it's kind of like, okay, but whatever, right? So you have like Brie Larson is this Kree warrior for the Kree Empire. She's part of the Star Force, an intergalactic, you know, military unit for the Kree Empire that goes around hunting Skrulls, which are shape-shifting infiltrators, right? She ends up, after a mission gone wrong, there's an ambush, and she ends up getting kidnapped by some Skrulls. Finds out, hey, that she's actually from Earth, and goes on this journey of self-discovery with lots of 90s references. She meets up with 90s Nick Fury, who has both his eyes, and Agent Coulson, who has a better hairline, but not that much better, right? And they go on this journey of self-discovery, find out that the Skrulls are not actually the bad guys. They're just refugees looking for a home, and they're getting they're getting persecuted by the Kree Empire, right? Who is after after the Tesseract, which it turns out Marvel, who was hiding on Earth as a woman scientist, which she was a man in the comics, right? Who was secretly helping the Skrulls, right? And yeah, so the movie, boy, the movie has a hardcore feminist agenda. Ask me about my feminist agenda. And Kelly Sue DeConnick has a fucking cameo in the movie where, Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers is walking through a crowd wearing her spacesuit, which Nick Fury makes a joke saying, "Oh, it looks like you have a rubber a spacesuit." And yeah, she walks by Kelly Sue DeConnick, who fucking really pissed me off that she was in this movie, because that means that she gets probably royalties for being in this film, right? Which is well, the movie doesn't do very well. There's a conspiracy theory, which I think is correct, that this movie, though we get told this is a $1 billion movie, when this movie was coming out, right? When this movie was coming out, 4chan, the valiant warriors of 4chan, from around the world bought tickets, went to see Captain Marvel, and took pictures of themselves at said movie theaters, and most of the movie theaters were fucking empty. So they needed this movie to be a hit, so the studio, as Disney, not only did they censor the bad Rotten Tomato reviews, while saying that trolls were preemptively bashing the movie, yet they would leave spam bot accounts that were giving the movie positive reviews. They would leave those reviews alone, but they would take down the negative reviews, right? Yeah, so so people think that they bought tickets to make the movie seem like it did a lot better than it did, because this movie is kind of even though it takes place 20 years before Avengers Endgame, there is a post-credit scene where they're calling for Captain Marvel's help to help take down Thanos, right? So it leads into Avengers Endgame, which I still haven't watched, by the way. So what are the problems with the movie? Well, the movie has a lot of 90s nostalgia baits. It has, it has multiple political messages. One, it has the 90s feminist agenda, which nothing wrong with feminist 90s movie agendas, because at least back then in the 90s they would have hot sexy women played the leads, right? And they would have the one boyfriend character. So for all the people who were who didn't like the feminist agenda, they would at least have one badass guy helping the main female character, in the Lara Croft Tomb Raider films. Trying to think of other examples. Fuck. I mean, it's been a while since I've watched 90s feminist movies. Barbed Wire, there was the one Maury guy who played Boba Fett in the prequels. Yeah, there's examples of this shit, okay? So just trust me, alright? But here you have the one male good guy in the film is played by Nick Fury, and they make him like a fucking buffoon in the film, right? He doesn't do anything badass, and the scenes where he's running looks very bad. By the way, the action scenes he was in does not look too bad, but the scenes where he has to run, oh my god, he runs like an old man. It's like Robert. It's not as bad as Robert De Niro in The Irishman, but it's still pretty bad. Plus, the de-aging looks very cheap. Like, there's better de-aging in like fucking like deep fake videos on YouTube. But the problem is with deep fakes, you can't really, you're using like previous footage, so they can't like do like very emotive scenes or whatever. At least that's some of the excuse. They can't emote very well, so like that's some of the problems apparently. So yeah, one obvious thing in the movie, because they got the main alien bad guy, they got an Australian actor to play him, Ben Mendelsohn, who was in movies like Dark Knight Rises. He was in Killing Them Softly, like a bunch of movies, right? He's an Australian actor, so when he's in his alien form, that he speaks with an Australian accent. And when he's like, masquerading as humans, he has like a American accent, right? So it's like, wow, it's pretty fucking obvious they only have the Skrulls have like an Australian accent because their main Skrull was an Australian actor, which is like, what the fuck? Oh my god. And I kind of liked that character, but it's like, it really shows, like, people are right that in every fucking Marvel film, you have to have the, like, misunderstood villain, right? So it's like they have the Skrulls, who are these fucking amazing bad guys in the fucking comics. They fucking ruined them in the cinematic universe by having them be, oh yeah, they're just refugees looking for a home, and they're being like, they use them as a political message for, like, the Syrian refugees, right? For fuck's sakes, right? And it's just like, wow, that means we can never have a Secret Invasion movie, because they already showed the Skrulls are the good guys, or they're not bad guys, right? They're helpless people. Which is such fucking bullshit. I never read Secret Invasion itself, but I have read tie-ins to Secret Invasion. I still need to get Secret. I'm going to get Secret Invasion at one point, but I really enjoyed, that event, right? It was a pretty cool like story, right? So they fucking ruined that fucking shit, man. They fucking ruined it for the movie, right? And it's such fucking bullshit. And, like, by the way, the 90s soundtrack for this film makes no sense, really, when you think about, since she the main character, left Earth at, like, 89. So really, it should be like all 80s fucking music that she should be like a fan of, right? But like they have like this 90s soundtrack because the movie takes place in the 90s, even though she's not really like. And then like there's a scene where she steals a motorcycle from from that one actor from Warcraft, who in interviews was like, back in 2015, who was like, oh, you're gonna vote for Trump? Don't you know Trump means fart over in England? It's like, shut the fuck up, guy. Yeah, he's in the movie. He gets his motorcycle like stolen, right? Which I love that actor in like Pacific Rim, but like, who's also an Australian actor, by the way. I think some of this movie, according to the credits, some of the movie was shot in Canada, and some of the movie was shot in Australia. Right, so I don't know why the movie, they had to shoot in like 3 different fucking countries. There's even like, they even say like Louisiana too. So like the movie was shot like apparently in 3 different countries. What the fuck is up with that? Right, I don't know. I honestly don't know. Also, the movie turns into Star Wars at the end, where you have battleships. She finally learns how to use her powers, and she becomes like a Super Saiyan, and takes out Ronan the Accuser's fucking like planet killer fleet that he has, because which Jude Law's character, really, they made him come off like a really fucking dumbass in the movie, because like he was on Earth when Ronan the Accuser showed up to blow it up. So if fucking Carol didn't take down their missiles, he would have been fucking dead. So that was very smart of fucking him to do that. And then, like, you know, he there's this callback to the beginning of the movie where, like, oh, Carol can never win in a straight up fight with Jude Law's character, because she has her fucking laser blast, right? So so after she's achieved Super Saiyan, he's like, you know, prove to me you finally became like the warrior you always, you know, should have been by fighting me one-on-one without your laser powers. And she's like, yeah, fuck that, and just blasts him. Right, which is like, oh my god, so dumb. So fucking dumb, man. Which I've never read a lot of Captain Marvel comics. I have read some stuff with Carol Danvers back when she had the sexy fucking Warbird costume, which we did do a review for a Miss Marvel comic trade. So you can check that out. Yeah, before, like, Miss Marvel, I actually used to like Miss Marvel, right? But they fucking ruined, during 2015 or whatever, when they gave her Captain Marvel's costume, they really fucking ruined her, man. And, like, you know, she used to have personality. She used to not be a bitch. But, like, yeah, man, they fucking ruined her. I don't know. Fucking Kelly Sue DeConnick, man. And it really pissed me off that she gets, like, she was in the movie and she gets fucking royalties, man. I'm sure you don't get a lot of royalties for being like for a cameo, but, like, you know, the one dude, Ed Brubaker, was like, I get paid more from that Winter Soldier fucking cameo than I do from, like, all my fucking comic royalties. So it's like, god damn, this fucking Kelly Sue DeConnick, by the way, fucking got, like, Aquaman canceled. And, like, Aquaman for the longest time did not have, like, a long-running series, right? Did not have an ongoing series. So the first time ever there was, like, a long, ongoing Aquaman series, you know, established by Jeff Johns, who, with Jeff Parker, you know, took over. She took over for Jeff Parker, and immediately gets, not immediately, but, like, eventually gets the fucking comic book fucking canceled by putting her politics above actually telling to get fucking story. So it really pisses me off that she gets fucking free money for, like, you know, for a fucking just being on camera for one fucking set for like 2 seconds in a movie, man. Fuck in hell. But, like, the movie, if the movie does not make a lot of money, if the conspiracy theories are true, that they fucking, like, you know, that the movie probably bombed and they had to spend like almost $1 billion to make it look like it fucking did well, right? Which, if people think that conspiracy theory is bullshit, if that conspiracy theory was bullshit, why is there the sequel to Captain Marvel? She's not even the main character. She's part of, like, a team. The movie's called The Marvels, right? So obviously something was going on. And the fucking sad part is, she didn't even want to do this movie at first, because, like, she looked up Captain Marvel and she's like, oh, it's some, like, which I wonder, like, how long it took her to find the Marvel Comics Captain Marvel, because you have the Shazam Captain Marvel, right? The DC Comics Captain Marvel, who was the original Captain Marvel, by the way, but they had to change it to Shazam. Fucking, like, Shazam is such a dumb name, too. At least in, like, Flashpoint, he's like Captain Thunder, which is a lot fucking cooler. and it has this like golden age like feel to the name too. Which if you haven't read Flashpoint, which you can also watch the DC animated film, it's fucking fantastic. The new Flashpoint movie is gonna suck. Which, dude, it sucks that like we have to wait. Like, we have to wait for, like, DC to finally decide, are we going to release the movie, or we're going to spend a shitload of money replacing the fucking actor and having to reshoot every fucking thing. It would be funny if they were just fucking, like, deep fake. They put the fucking, the Daniel whoever from fucking Maze Runner, which, I don't know, a lot of people want Grant Gustin. I would say... This film reshoot with Grant Gustin and then like do a thing in the beginning of the movie to explain like, oh yeah, Ezra Miller somehow got replaced by Grant Gustin when fucking Reverse Flash from another universe fucked everything up, killed like what's his name's parents or whatever. Fucking hell. Which they never established a Reverse Flash, but fuck it, like just. Do the one for Reverse Flash from the future. What's his name? Professor Zoom or some shit? Yeah. So yeah, this movie was so bad. I'm talking about like the other shit. Which I gotta say, the only highlight of one of my commentaries was she steals clothes, right? From a mannequin, and she has like a fucking 9-inch nail shirt. I just laughed my fucking ass off when I saw it. Like, their idea of giving her a grunge look is leather jacket with 9-inch nail shirt. It's like, what the fuck? That doesn't look grunge at all, man. Oh my god. Fucking, they, like, oh my god. So, grunge would be if she had like short hair and was wearing like a flannel shirt, you know, she was wearing Chuck Taylors or some shit like that, you know, because a lot of girls kind of like dressed like boys back then, and they weren't considered like, you know, lesbians, because that was just the grunge style to dress like you didn't give a shit, and girls would dress like boys, right? Yeah. So yeah, also I forgot one story about this movie when it first came out was I when this movie was still around, coming out, I was still watching EVS back then, and you know, I was kind of like, you know, at that point, I was like getting really annoyed at EVS because, like, you know, he was like grifting, he took a shitload of money from his fans and was barely working on his comic book, but you know, I would get home from work and I would watch, you know, the latest EVS video, and I would enjoy it. His live streams, I never watched his live stream stuff, but his videos were funny. And then, like, you know, his videos were okay, but there was like a 2-month period up till Captain Marvel came out where he was every day trashing Captain Marvel, right? Pointing out that, like, you know, her co-stars hate her. You know, she got hit on by a black dude and was like, how dare he hit on me at the airport. And, like, you know, waiting for the movie to come out so he can do a review of it and trash it, right? The movie comes out and he doesn't even fucking review it, man. He was trashing the movie for almost like 2 months, didn't even fucking do a review for it. Can you imagine if I fucking did that? Oh my god. Right, so that was for everybody who wanted to know, that was the last straw that broke the camel's back with me and EVS, right? Because it was like, you fucking, and that was before we knew, hey, this guy was like, you know, the 2 years it would take him to make a fucking single graphic novel that was generic at best. I don't even know if Blood Honey had come out by 2019, and I could give a shit. But yeah, so that was for anybody who wants to know some Dungeon Dwellers lore. That was the point where I was like, fuck EVS, and I was done with his channel. And him, the audio leaking of him getting pegged by his ex-wife was this icing on the cake. It's like, oh, you're the real conservative, are you? All these other people claim to be conservatives are fake conservatives, but you're the real conservative because you're married and you have like a wife and a kid. But because yeah, he would explain, oh, like I'm more of a conservative than like all these other guys because you know they're not married and they don't have kids. Well, they also don't have they don't have videos where they pretend to lust after Fabio, and then the fucking audio leak of him getting pegging. Yeah, I'm starting to think you all those jokes of you pretending to lust after Fabio. I don't think we're jokes, man. I think you were thinking of Fabio when you were getting pegged by your fucking wife. Yeah. Also, I forgot to mention the stupid joke with the cat. Like, Nick Fury is this huge cat person in the fucking film, right? And like, you know, all the aliens are scared of the cat he has because it's this like, you know, fucking it's supposed to be a furkin, which is highly dangerous fucking animal, right? And then he eventually gets his eye scratched out by the cat, pretends it's not a big deal, keeps the cat anyway as a pet, right? And it turns out the alien eats the fucking Tesseract, which the second post-credit scene is it like puking it up, and they don't even have fucking what's his name in the room, which was what the fuck. That would have made it funnier. It's like, oh, finally puked it up, eh? That would have made it like somewhat funny, but it just made it stupid. Which the CGI in the movie is not that great, by the way. Yeah, so if I were to give the movie a rating, like, I honestly can't think of any good thing about the movie, right? And like, I honestly can't think of any good thing about the movie. Like, cause was it nice to finally like learn like what, like, you know, Nick Fury or like, you know, what Nick Fury was doing in the 90s and seeing Agent Coulson alive again. I'm not an Agent Coulson fan. I don't give a shit. If I wanted to see Agent Coulson do shit, I could just watch, you know, fucking Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. where he's like, you know, they have a fucking LMD of fucking Coulson. Which, why would people want to? Why would people make a life model decoy of fucking Agent Coulson? I don't know. Yeah, like the movie, I would say is a 3 out of 10 at best, right? Because like, what were the shitty things about it, right? One unlikable character with Captain Marvel pushing political agendas, right? 2 of them in the same movie, right? 2 of them in the same movie. They ruined the Skrulls, and they gave the Skrulls like Australian accent for no other reason than the main Skrull guy was Australian. Which, oh my god, that was dumb. And like you had the 90s like grunge fucking, like, you know, not really grunge soundtrack. I don't consider No Doubt grunge. Like, and Garbage maybe is considered grunge, but you know, I don't know. The wasted 90s soundtrack when the character was, you know, last on Earth during the 80s. So it's like, what the fuck? 89. So, yeah. Would have made more sense, because you see her on Earth and she has like a fucking Guns and when she was last on Earth, you know, before, like, you know, the fuck up, she had like a fucking Guns N' Roses fucking shirt. No Guns N' Roses shirt, music at all in the movie. They stick to the grunge thing for like no fucking reason, right? So yeah, 3 out of 10. The movie sucks. Don't watch it. Maybe watch it with friends just to make fun of it. But yeah, the movie sucks. Yeah. And it's funny that like they almost didn't get the movie made because Disney had to beg Brie Larson to be in the movie. By the way, because at first she didn't want to do it because she's like she looked up who Captain Marvel was. It's like, oh, this is a dude. I don't want to play a dude. But it's like, no. We had the comics make a female Captain Marvel just for you. Oh my god, so dumb. Yeah. Yeah, so like, yeah, the movie sucks. I hoped the fact that I made this review, like, you know, half an hour long makes up for the fact that I didn't do the fucking commentary track. But like I said, if maybe eventually when I pick up like a cheap like Blu-ray, because if I'm gonna do a commentary track for this movie, I need to get like I need to have watch a copy of this movie with subtitles. Yeah. So yeah, let me know if you guys, if you guys want me to do a commentary track for like a shitty comic book movie. We could do Spawn. Even though I've seen Spawn like 3 times this fucking year, in the last 2 years. But yeah, we could do Spawn, or let me know what crappy movie, superhero movie, you guys want us to do, right? And then we'll do a commentary track for that. Also, part 2 of this video, we're gonna review Marvel Spotlight. Which one is this? I think it's 8. Marvel Spotlight 8, Captain Marvel, which I paid $15 for back in the last year. It has art by Frank Miller. It doesn't say who drew it, but yeah. That should be fun, and it's a comic book story with the original Marvel, not a gender-swapped old lady. Alright guys, peace.